It's pretty wild to think about, but have you ever considered that a single piece of punctuation could, define a whole philosophy for living? Well, today we're diving into a short but incredibly powerful poem that does exactly that. It offers this really unique and creative way to look at life. So let's get into it. Okay, so to really set the stage, let's kick things off with this quote from the poet himself, Avalok. He says, "Life/art is about stretching canvas inches to infinity, fleeting moments into light years." I mean, wow. Right away, this just gives you a glimpse into a mind that sees life as this huge, expansive, creative thing. It's the perfect way to start thinking about this. So, who is the person behind this whole philosophy? Well, let's meet the creator. He's an artist, a poet, and he calls himself an interrobanger. Okay, so Avalok uses a few pretty fascinating words to describe himself. Of course, he's an artist and a poet, but then he also says he's a compulsive coddywampler and an interrobanger. And honestly, those last two, they are the absolute keys to unlocking his whole worldview. So you're probably wondering, what in the world is a coddywampler? Well, it's a verb, and it means to travel in a purposeful manner towards a vague destination. I just love that, don't you? It's not about just wandering around with no direction. No, it's about having a purpose, a drive, but being totally open to where that journey actually takes you. It's all about navigating life with intent, while just embracing the unknown. So cool. And this entire philosophy, including the amazing poem we're about to get into, it all comes from his book of poetry, which is called Versology. And just looking at the cover, you can already get a feel for his vibe, right? It's simple, but really thoughtful. All right, and now for the centerpiece, the heart of this whole idea. Let's take a look at the poem that really just lays it all out there. It's the super bold, super concise declaration of his entire philosophy. Okay, here it is. Life is an interrobang. Commas and periods, I don't use them. Colons and semicolons, I mean, what even are they? Question marks and exclamation points, I use them a lot. Life is an interrobang. It's so simple, right? But man, is it powerful. The whole poem is this incredible metaphor for how we choose to live our lives. It's all about consciously choosing your punctuation, your marks. So what the poem does is it presents us with this really clear choice. It breaks down punctuation into two teams, basically. In one corner, you've got the ones he rejects, the comma, the period, the semicolon, the things that represent certainty, pauses, and finality, the end. But in the other corner, you've got the ones he embraces, the question mark and the exclamation point. And what do those represent? Wonder, excitement, a life that's totally open-ended. So the core message here, the big takeaway, is that this is an invitation. It's a call to live a life with fewer full stops and way more question marks. It's about trading in all that certainty for a sense of curiosity. It's about swapping out that period for a question mark. And this brings us right back to the title, which is just perfect. So, what is an interrobang anyway? Well, it's a real punctuation mark. It's not super common, but it combines a question mark and an exclamation point into one symbol. And it just perfectly captures that feeling of excited wonder, It's the punctuation for when you're thinking, wow, what's next? Which is exactly the kind of life this poem is all about. Okay, so what does this all mean for us, right? How do we take this really cool, creative idea and actually apply it? Let's make it personal. Let's think about our own life's punctuation. So I want to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. If your life right now were a sentence, what punctuation mark would come at the end? Would it be a period? Suggesting things are kind of settled, maybe a little bit done? Or would it be something more open, something more questioning, more excited? Maybe, just maybe, it'd be an interrobang?